anthem-selling recording artist, Pentatonics.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' bright glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Whoa, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to the virtual Monster Mile, Dover Motor Speedway. Welcome to round 18 of the Bump and Run Cup Series, live here on iRacing. My name is Sean Stam. Me and the old Justin Yamentator will be guiding you through that's a 150 lap battle on this high-banked concrete coliseum. Tonight the field faces off, and one of the toughest tests on this schedule as we have qualifying just now rounding up. We'll take a look at our starting grid. How about it? It's going to be the Mice Machine, the number 97, who's had quite a bit of pace this season. We'll take a look at those playoff points here after this starting grid. But the reason I say that, though, is Austin Mice is up there in the top 3 in the points. He's starting on the pole here tonight. Very, very nice qualifying effort for the Mice Machine. Cole Fitzpatrick, Brian Huntley Jr., driver number 88. He'll be starting P3 here tonight. Tyler Massey, that's Stam Studio Network, goodness gracious, Stam Studio Network Ford Mustang. There you go. We'll be starting 4th. Dale Rapp starting on that 3rd row, as well as Joe Stipe, Kyler McCarthy, Travis Farmer, Matthew Fitz, Daniel Higgins made it out here to the oval world, rounding out that top 10. Cornelius Brown, Joshua Higball, Chris Campbell, Robbie Bice, Anthony Lane, Mark Berry, David Berry, Josh Mollick, Davian Salgado, Brandon Moore, Justin Steves down there in 21st is his starting position. Miguel Campos, Stan Mayberry, Willie B. Roberts, Tyler Myers in the 45 Toyota Camry. Terry Dugay, Justin's one of favorite drivers there. So we got Robert Armal. You might be asking, where is that old yaw machine at? Justin will be joining us in a few moments' time. As well as if you are joining us here on the vertical broadcast, real quick, mosey your way on over to the horizontal broadcast. I appreciate every single one of you joining us here tonight for what will be a great run here from Dover. We might have a few cautions, but that is a-okay because we got Miles, that monster there on the left side. Going to claim probably a few drivers tonight. We'll take a look at these points here on round 18. Kyler McCarthy, driver number 24. Remember, Kyler McCarthy took it to these drivers on the streets of Chicago. He continues to run out there in the front of the field. Justin Steves, Robbie Bice, Austin Mice, Chris Campbell, Tyler Massey, Brandon Moore, Tyler Myers, Brian Huntley Jr., league owner in that 9th position in the points. Matthew Fitz rounding out that top 10 in the points. All right, we're just about ready to kick this thing off here, boys and girls. Welcome in once again. The old commentator here will be with us in just a few moments' time, but we are about ready to get some green flag racing here. Austin Mice had that very nice qualifying effort, once again, slapped it out there on the pole. He's going to have Cole Fitzpatrick, though. I believe that is a newer name within the Bump and Run Cup Series. Driver number 10, Chevrolet Camaro, starting up on that outside. Brian Huntley Jr., one of the league owners here. He's going to have that inside line of row 2. Definitely a driver to keep an eye on here tonight, as we are just about ready for some green flag racing. We have waited a whole week for it. The Bump and Run Cup Series is live once again. We already got one in the wall. That's the number 17, Tyler Massey, already in incident. That Stam Studio Network Harvest Ford Mustang, he's going to keep things rolling so far, as still not a caution is thrown. Going to single file out here for the race lead, as well as up through the pack. What really a not clean start at all here. The top 5 are continuing to run away, but as we look at right around Daniel Higgins, Robbie Bice, Chris Campbell, holy moly, what a race starts here. We stacked him up as we tried to rack him up here, keeping things green. Austin Mice, he's going to run that lower line here out of turns 3 and 4. Cole Fitzpatrick is continuing to hang right with him here, as this is a 2-car breakaway for the race lead. Here comes some more single file action here. It should start to double file up, but once again, this is one of those tracks here, boys and girls. You got to treat these tires like they are your children. Baby these right sides around this concrete 1-mile oval surface here from Dover, Delaware. I'm hearing some scrapings in the back of the pack. Here comes some more side-by-side. It's going to be Josh Small as well as Willie B. Roberts going at it here. As we may have just heard an engine give here early on. Still keeping things green.
Back.
Woohoo! The commentator. Welcome back, Justin.
Sorry, folks. Computer troubles. My computer decided, hey, you're doing something. Sure, let me mess that up for you. So glad to be here. We're in Dover. Holy cow, 27 cars at this little bitty old place. Man, ought to be some fun racing. What have I missed?
Well, I'll show you exactly what you missed here, Justin. There was a real big incident up here in the front of the pack. It was the Stam Studio Network Harvest machine. Take a look at this and give me your initial thoughts on it here, buddy.
Let's give it the old. Oh, my. Oh. That's a big brake checkup from everybody else. Probably somebody else in the wall.
You know, I'll give it to him here, though, Justin. They were all able to make it their way down and through this big old incident. It did result in one more wreck, but we're keeping things clean, green, and mean.
Yeah. Somebody didn't clear out the water droplets from the shower that passed through in between qualifying and the race.
Oh, no.
That's what it was. Or somebody forgot to pick up the Mario Kart banana peel.
Yeah, you hate that for Joe Stipe as well, because he was also kind of on the receiving end here. But only 7 laps here into this race, Justin. Austin Mice, he's starting to pull away, looking strong early on.
Yeah, and it's kind of become a 1-2 horse race up front. You've got a little less than 3.5 seconds between Cole Fitzpatrick and Brian Huntley. Kind of separated themselves, or Austin and Fitzpatrick has up there in the front. Then you kind of got everybody right there in 3, 4, and 5. All kind of right there together, and there's another gap back to the 6th spot of Mr. Farmer. So interesting to see how the different lines here. Everybody kind of wants to run the bottom, you run the middle. You kind of see some people, oh, what a bump there from Kyle. They're going to give it Brian Huntley a good little shot there coming off forward. But you kind of got some different lines to run here, and I think as the race rolls on, you'll maybe see some people experiment. Maybe try to dime the corner instead of just rolling the bottom the whole way around. Maybe try to cut the corner a little bit, drift up, and then try to have a hell of a run off the corner.
I think you're exactly right here, Justin. And look at the battle here about midway through this pack. I mean, we're starting to get a little bit more side by side. Here comes Chris Campbell, got Mike Berry up here involved in it as well. That's that number 25, and number 8 going at it there, Brandon Moore. Brandon, he had some really nice practice times earlier on, but he didn't qualify too well, and he's back here in the hornet's nest. Justin, you talk about trying to run some different lines as well. Once this bottom line, the dominant line, starts to get caked up in that rubber, that's when the drivers start moving up the racetrack, but you don't want to get up into the dirty, nitty-gritty there, because then you'll start to lose even more. So it's you bring up a great point there, Justin. It's a little bit of game of cat and mouse, not only with the competitors, but as well as the racetrack yourself.
Yeah, you really got to watch, your opponent really well. You got to watch where you put your car. All it's going to take, this track is known for you get loose on the front stretch, tag the wall. Because really 2 and 4, when you come off, there's a little bit of I call it a nook coming off there. If you tag that thing, it's going to shoot you straight to the inside wall. It's going to put a damper on your day. It may not end it, but you're going to go down some laps. So you really got to watch that little nook coming off there. You got to take care of the hot rod, at least on the right side there.
Speaking of take care of it, I know we're only 13 laps in, but you start to see some of that side-by-side, and it really scares me for some of these drivers that we do see run side-by-side. Here's Miguel Campo as well as Chris Campbell. They were going at it earlier in the race. They're now able to find some single-file action. Brian Huntley Jr., Kyler McCarthy. Kyler McCarthy fresh off of that win just 1 week ago. A driver with multiple wins this season. He's starting to reel in that final driver interview spot for P3.
Tyler giving it the business up front. He's really got a really fast number 24 hot rod, but he's going to have to get by Brian Huntley if he wants to try to contend for another win. Looks like Austin kind of putting about a 1.5 seconds almost between him and Cole Fitzpatrick. So Austin Mike's going to still lead us around the old concrete jungle here at Dover.
Speaking of the old concrete jungle, well, it was on lap 0 basically of the race. We saw Tyler Massey kind of spin the tires and end up in that outside wall. He's still out here on track so far on the lead lap, but as fast as the laps here are, Justin, I mean, the leaders are putting down 23.23 second laps for Austin Mice. Cole Fitzpatrick, 23.33, just a tenth behind. I think the laps will take off here pretty soon, and you got to be careful here if you're running a little bit in the further back of the pack, respectfully, because, hey, that leader is going to be coming quick. There you see it. Austin Mice is already on Joshua Stipe as well as Justin Steves from here in.
They're all over each other's bumper, and also going to have to play the old cat and mouse game, trying to get through this traffic without either A, junking your stuff, or B, wearing your tires out. Tire wear at this track is such a crucial part of how you race here. So you really got to make sure to take care of that tire wear and not bounce it off the wall. About like example A there. As you can see, Cole Fitzpatrick, we're going to cut the gap there between them. He's cut it almost 7/10 within really the past 3 laps. So here comes Fitzpatrick showing a little bit of speed.
Yeah, I mean, taking a look at the lap time history between these two drivers. Look at that. Austin Mice is caught up in the dirty air of the the rear two of the pack here of Joshua Higbaugh as well as Justin Steves. Steves, although he sits up there in the top 3 in the points, he is having some trouble with Miles, the monster, here tonight. And with that, it's really holding up Austin Mice. There you see, it was a Christmas tree, a little bit red, a little bit green on it, but Cole Fitzpatrick is coming with a head of steam. The last 4 laps, faster than Cole Fitzpatrick. He's just about a half second behind. Here goes the move down the inside. Austin Mice saying, hey, I gotta go, go, go.
He's got to hit the gas pedal and get on with it quick. Now, you've got to be careful trying to pass, especially off of 2, but how about this? Fitzpatrick going to have a heck of a run as they go off into 3 and 4. Don't think he's going to be able to get him clear, but he's going to let Austin know he is there. Not going to be able to clear him coming down the front stretch. Also going to go back to work, really playing offense and defense here. Only thing he ain't playing is special teams.
Talk about offense and defense. Dirty air is the name of the game here tonight from Dover. We're looking out the back bumper of this race leader. He's going to try the outside line once again. Cole Fitzpatrick's going to try and dive it down the bottom. Diamond the exit off of 4. Not really having the grip. Here we go. We may get side by side for the race lead. If not this lap, definitely the next one. Cole Fitzpatrick continuing to size up our race leader, Austin Mice.
Yeah, he's really there, but he can't just find the run to get off. He's going to be really right here at the quarter pedal going off in there. But Steve's going to go to the bottom. Can Cole Fitzpatrick maybe get the pass here? He's going to have to get through Justin Steves. Steve's kind of just in the way. Cole Fitzpatrick is going to take the lead here at Dover.
That's all it took, was just a little lap car action. Austin Mice was the fastest car on track here before the last couple of laps. Now Austin Mice falls back to P2. Fastest car last lap by was Cole Fitzpatrick, as well as here comes Brian Huntley Jr. He's in a battle with, that's going to need to be Kyler McCarthy, 24.88, both going at it here out of 4.
Are you sure that's not Earnhardt and Gordon?
It's reminiscent of it, isn't it, man?
Junior, folks, junior, not senior. Dale's not dead, he's a lap ahead. But yeah, how about a good little battle here? You've got a battle right there between Huntley. You've got a battle between McCarthy in 3 and 4. Then you kind of fall back there to Dale Rapp in 5th and Ty Farmer in 6th. And then there's another little bit of a gap really between, well, I guess Dale's kind of out there in no man's land. I think right now a lot of these guys are really needing a caution to kind of come out. Maybe re-rack them and restack them. I think would maybe do the field some good. A lot of these guys, you got to figure out where your car's at and where you feel like you're good at. Man, a lot of these folks right now haven't really figured out where their line wants to be, or they're doing a really good job of conserving.
Ooh, contact. Robbie Bice and Cornelius Brown, that outside wall. Justin, how about Travis Farmer here tonight? Travis was begging for a setup here. I had to send him one right before the broadcast, just got it off of Garage 61. Sent it to him there. He got it loaded up. I told him I don't even know if it's a long run or a short run setup. Travis Farmer, he's up 2 positions since the drop of the green flag. Knocking on that top 5 spot. Excellent run here tonight, at least for the start of the race. Here comes some more side-by-side, or just damn near of it. Robbie Bice, Cornelius Brown, Brandon Moore, just about a second back in this battle.
Yeah, I think these guys right here, they are kind of bouncing off the wall just a little bit. You got to take care of that right side. You know, you can kind of beat and bang on these next-gen cars, and we talk about it all the time, especially with our bump and run guys and gals. These next-gen cars, you can kind of, I'm not going to say torment them, but you can kind of beat on them and bang on them just a little bit more than you could the old Gen 6 car. These Gen 7's got a little more beat and bang to them, but when you beat and bang a little too much, you're going to pay the price, whether it be the aero or that toe link's going to snap, and you're going to be, you know, crab walking down through there.
Well, we already started to talk about some management of this next-gen car, especially, I mean, these last few races in the schedule, the Chicago street course, where you had to manage your tires and brakes. Here tonight, we're trying to manage the momentum as well as we can while not burning off these right sides. The lap times have, let's see, fallen off about a little over a second since these first couple of laps here in the race. Justin, if my math is mathin', with 70% fuel out of this BNR Monster 150, we should be in about a 70 lap range. So that's just about, would be 50, sorry, about 50 laps, 40, 50 laps here left within this fuel tank. If things continue to run green, we're gonna have to keep an eye on things here. Are these drivers saving enough tires, saving enough fuel to make it to the end of this first stint?
Yeah, I think, Sean, we were talking about pit strategy. I think you've also got to make sure a key part here at Dover is getting on and off of pit road. Is such, you can't really go off the bank and coming off of 4 because that's where the pit road entry is. Can't dive it off in there too much because you'll unsell the car and you'll be spinning around. But you don't want to go off too early, off in the 3 and maybe downshift it. Oh, good little bump there between McCarthy and Huntley Jr. Boy, how about these two? They have put on a show. But back to what I was saying, you don't want to really go in too early because you're going to give up a lot of time and a lot of position coming in off 3, but you've got to make sure you take care of that hot rod getting on and off pit road.
Oh, he turned him!
Save it! Oh, how
save
about you,
for Huntley
88? How about you, 88?
Have you ever in one of these next-gen machines, Justin? Holy guacatooes.
I have not. He put the e-brake on right there and slipped around through there like Chelsea DeNoble.
Golly, what a massive save. And, you know, I know that you mentioned, Justin, you were talking about these drivers needing a yellow. Not going to get it there with the quick, fast, cat-like reflexes of Huntley Jr.
Man, I would love to see Brian's footwork right there. Maybe the hands, the feet, do a little bit of work there because I know it had to be kicked sideways. And I know he had to be getting a whole lot of braking gas trying to get that thing settled back out.
What a move there for him. I'm going to try to get you that shot here for the Brian Huntley machine. Hopping on board with the cockpit cam. Watch Brian Huntley's hand here. We're just a little bit to the right, little to the left, stays in the gas. That's a pretty nice save here from the Monster Mile.
And I think I want to point out a key part here. If you look at the not the GPS, but you look at the telemetry right there on the dash, you notice he never got out of 5th gear. Doing that, to me, he's not going to have a lot of wheel spin going down into 4th. He's going to be able to kind of just roll back into it. If you were to bump it down to 4th, you're going to have a lot of wheel speed. That thing's going to kick down and have a lot of RPM, which really enhanced the risk of spinning out right there. So good heads-up play right there, Brian, to keep it in 5th. He may have just not been able to get it in 4th like he wanted to because he was trying to keep it straight. I may be wrong completely, but pit stops.
That's about halfway on my strategy, Justin. I think these drivers possibly trying to split it in thirds, but we know Tyler, as well as Tyler Myers, possibly with a little bit damage earlier on in the race.
Let Guido know.
Closest battle on track here, it's going to be between the contact! Robbie Bice, he's going to somehow save that down the hill once again. iRacing not doing the corners as well as even the straightaways justice with the degree of banking here. 24 degrees of banking within both corners. What a save there out of Robbie Bice.
Yeah, Robbie had his hands full right there. Here we go. This is going to be the battle for 10th. Brian Campbell going to take over. Chris Campbell going to take over right there. He'll go to P10. Let's check up. Robbie right there. That Toyota Camry had a whole lot of view of that inside wall. Miles almost got him another car to eat. Let's see. Was there a little contact between Cornelius?
Ooh. I don't know, Justin. What are you calling, buddy?
I can't really tell from that angle. I don't know if he got a little dirty air on him. Don't know if he just gave him a good little nudge, a good little friendly pat on the back or what. Let's see if we can get another angle here. There's Brandon Moore on the inside. Cornelius going to have a run there.
Here comes Cornelius Brown, and I think the contact's going to come right. If it's not this next corner.
It's the next corner. It's the next corner. 3 and 4 where the contact was initiated. Brandon Moore going to drive away there, and Cornelius going to have a run. Going to go to the bottom here. Bice going to keep it on the outside. Ew, almost got him there. Bice going to drift up the track there. Cornelius with the run. Yeah, let's just give a heads-up play right there to Robbie Bice. Good job of keeping it straight. You hate to lose the spots, but, man, you can always get those back. You know what you can't get back? The junk race car.
Hey, well said there. I don't even know if there was contact there or not. An excellent save for not only Robbie Bice, but you up here in the booth to kind of to play that off so well, Justin. Real quick, I mean, thank you once again for everything that you've done for us this season over in the bump and run up here up in the booth. You continue to bring us some comedy up here in the booth, and I mean, here we go between some more race car drivers, but Brandon Moore is continuing, Justin, to work his way. He's up 15 spots without a yellow flag. Is that number 8?
Not gonna open my package.
Oh, well, I was gonna try to wait till a yellow, but with as clean as these as clean as these drivers are here, Justin, I think I'll give you full authority, man. You've been waiting. I sent Justin a little care package here. Justin's been waiting like a kid on Christmas to open it. I think about 45 laps in. I think I give you full authority, man.
All right, I'm not gonna look in, folks. All right, okay, all right. We're gonna look. We're gonna look towards the sky. We're gonna peek in. What do we got here? Let's take a look. Oh, stickers!
Oh,
even more stickers. Got some old school stickers. Let's go.
All right, some little vinyl SSN stickers. All right.
Got a shirt in here.
Oh, a shirt?
Oh, it's a PBR shirt.
A what shirt?
A PBR Pat's Blue Ribbon.
Oh.
Sean, no problem is, I don't fit the large.
Okay, well that's what I was gonna say. I didn't know.
You know what? I'll cut the sleeves off a moment.
That'll be
even more Pat's Blue Ribbonish. Yeah, buddy. Let's go. Right here. Oh, we got a die cast.
You're damn right you got a die cast.
Yeah, Chase Elliott diecast. Let's go. That'll go right there on the old. Let's go. Thanks, man. A lug nut. Studio Network stickers. Dang, man, you hooked me up. Thank you, brother.
Heck yeah, man. That was that's Gen 6 real life lug nut right there from back at Coda last time. Last time the old Gen 6s raced it out there.
Oh, it's a race win.
Oh, hell yeah. Little confetti out on it, too.
Oh. I don't know if that tells you what you need to know, but you need to be tuned in to Stam Studio Network. All right. That right there. I love that. Go see if
Got
it's
the
a fit on my
kid
truck.
on Christmas morning here. That is too good.
Man, thank you a bunch. I have to find you a little something I can send back.
Oh,
That'll be
nah,
good.
dude. Don't even worry about it.
Up, pit stops.
More of them this time. Remember that the thirds? I thought this race was going to be cut in after Tyler Massey came into pit. Nah, he's still into the pits, but now Cornelius Brown. This is a little bit more on schedule. 50 out of that 150 to make the thirds work.
They got to cut this thing up just a little bit. You know, I think this is a good strategy. I mean, Sean, what would you say your strategy would be during this?
Oh boy, well, Dover is not my track of choice here. I'd probably be running about 3/4 the way through the pack, so honestly, I would try to get the long run strategy to work. I know it's not the optimal strategy as far as if you're kind of in the top 5 here, but with the pace that I would have here at Dover, this roller coaster of a track, I would be begging on some strategy, trying to catch a caution to fall at the right time, but something that we're seeing kind of a safe call strategy here. All these drivers that we're running got that top 5, top 10 spot. Austin Meiss, Travis Farmer, Dale Rapp, Chris Campbell all entering the pits. What about you though, Justin? What's your kind of strategy call here?
I think you try to maybe split it up in thirds. I think you become 60 and 120. You leave yourself a little bit of tire or a little bit of room there, but you really got to take care of those tires after that 120 mark. You know, you kind of push it right there. You give yourself a little bit of extra room in case there is like a green-white checker or something like that. But me personally, you could really split it almost into 70-lap increments. But the only thing, with 70, you only give yourself a 10-lap window, and you got to drive your wheels off in that last 10-lap little shootout.
That's just, you know, the tire sets is also something we have to keep an eye on here tonight. We do have 3 tire sets that are in the pits, but 70% fuel, so these drivers should be able to, if you're making this strategy work here, if you're making this undercut work for, that was just about probably half those front runners. The other half's going to probably try and make the halfway strategy call work. This is going to be fun to watch here, Justin. Strategies will start to be the name of the game, although I do notice, I'm not sure if this is a penalty or what though, but the driver who has led the most laps here tonight, Austin Meiss, 2 laps down at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there from the 97 hot rod. Maybe try to switch up the strategy a little bit, go in a little early. A little tire rub, maybe the car got loose. We'll have to go back and check the film on that number 97. Tough wrap right there. Go 2 laps down this early on. But I mean, hey, still got a lot of laps. You know, if it's him, I think maybe push on through. Try to get to that lucky dog spot here. You really got to hope and pray that caution flag goes flying.
How about Stan Mayberry and Justin Steve starting to go nose to tail here? This is the strategy call that I would be on here with the pace I have at Dover. I mean, the Bump and Run Cup Series drivers all with so much racecraft and so much pace within the Oval Series. Justin Steves and Stan Mayberry still putting some really nice lap times down. I'm really liking the strategy call here, and that reason is if you bank on that caution, if basically, what was that famous movie line? If you build it, they will come. If you bank on it, it might come here tonight. Stan Mayberry, Justin Steves fighting it out for 8th and 9th. Some side-by-side here, is that's going to be the Monster Machine Chevrolet Camaro. That's what new tires do there, as door quarter clear for Travis Farmer.
He's going to get it clear right there. He's going to make it happen. Farmer going to move on up. Coming around through here, so our leader's still kind of running this, I guess, different strategy. Everybody else can come in a little bit early, try to break it up. just a little bit than everybody else. Here comes the number 24 Hot Rod. He's going to visit pit road, get some fresh tires on there, a little top off of fuel, and he'll be back to going. Now, this track right here, like I said, you really got to be good getting on and off. That's going to be a key part. Here comes the 88 you see back there in the background. Brian Huntley Jr. going to hit pit road also. This track, man, you got to hit your P's and Q's coming on and off pit road. Such a, I mean, a tough, I guess, area of banking. It comes off and it comes on it. You can really mess yourself up.
Real quick, we see you down there live in YouTube land. Justin, we got YouTube land popping off here tonight. We got D-Ghost back here live in the chats. We got Irish, Joe Stipe. Joe is unfortunately out of the race. If you missed it earlier on here, hop on board here with Joe. We're gonna take a, like I said, yeah, hop on board shots here. This was coming to the green flag. We'll have to back it up here. Tyler Massey, he spun the tires on the original race start here. Joe Stipe, we hate that you are also out of this race earlier on, but thanks for hanging out in the broadcast with us. There, it just made him way loose. Tried to save it going into one, and then just broke that toe link there. Nothing you can do as a driver, just hanging on to it at that point.
I hate that for you, Joe. Thanks for tuning in with us. Hopefully a little better ride next week. But always good to see some of our racers, everybody in the YouTube chat. Once again, I know Sean does thank you. I thank you for tuning in. You know, I appreciate Sean allowing me to come in each and every week and do this with you folks. We do this for the fun. We do it for the glory. And we do it for the PBR. That's what we do it for.
You know what else we do it for here? Okay, I'll
Money.
probably. Yeah. I was gonna say crank it up, but with the top two drivers here, the only drivers shown on the lead lap, I'm gonna wait to treat the audience of the crank it up, because Justin, if a yellow flag flies right here, oh, now we're starting to unlap a few cars as things are starting to cycle back and out around. But Cole Fitzpatrick, remember, he actually started up here, I believe. Yeah, in the second starting position here, the front row, Cole Fitzpatrick. Oh, he's getting a big block out of the Hot Wheels machine. That's going to be David Berry. We are starting to look too wide. I thought Austin Mice was going to send it 3.
Here we go. Austin trying to, he's going 3. Make it 3, boys!
Hang on to him as we go back under the pedestrian bridge to that hotel and casino. Austin Mice is loose. He just chopped the nose off of that American racing jockey machine. What a move there of Austin as he tries to slice and dice his way through the field.
They are moving and grooving. You're going to see a lot of different moves happening here, there, and everywhere now. As this field on a fresh set of tires. You guys got on some older ones, got some guys on some new ones. And so it's going to be very, very interesting to see where everybody maybe starts trying to venture in different lines. It's going to start opening up. Cole Fitzpatrick, man, he is on a, I think he's going, Cole, you doing my strategy? You going to 70? Nope, you're pitting now. Never mind. Spoke too soon.
Good timing there, Cole. I think that's the winning strategy right here. Remember, we saw Cole, he was leading probably the second amount of most laps led tonight. Is now David Berry's going to actually cycle out to the lead. Remember, a week ago at the Chicago Street Course, David Berry finished P3. Excuse me, that was the P2, second place. David Berry, a newer name in the Bump and Run Cup Series. He knows how to get it done on the street courses. Also has some real nice pace on the ovals. 2,900 oval iRating here as he is running the long run strategy, though. There we see some tires, as well as a fixed Tyler Massey harvest machine. Tyler Massey, we appreciate your membership to the STAM Studio Network YouTube channel. That just means the world to us, man. That is another thing that keeps us going there behind the scenes. Tyler Massey is an avid, oh, we got a yellow! Terry Dougie around.
Terry. Tear it down.
Take a look at the left side of your screen, folks. Top 4 are the only drivers on the lead lap. Sure, we'll get them all waved back around here, but it's something interesting to watch, because where you were running in the race, you will no longer be running. Terry Dougie, let's take a look and see what happened to him here. Oh, self-induced.
off the ball and ball one. Keep it off the inside. Ball.
I don't think he. We'll take another look here. He locked it down, and then you got to floor it here because this stretch, the front stretch is banked. He does lose a. As you see, a fender flapping in the background. He did damage that rear end a little bit. Not quite a Jimmy Johnson save for Terry Dougie, but it could have been a lot worse. Justin, good call, buddy.
How about you, Terry? Good save. Way to keep it off the wall and get some tires where we'll be good to go. So everybody going to come in. I think you really come in right here and maybe top it off. I don't think tires, unless you pitted very on. We had some guys pit on 30-ish, somewhere around there. I think you'll see a lot of those guys maybe come in. Depending on how many sets of tires everybody has, everybody may just come in. This may be, I mean, the way the race is kind of gone, this may be your money stop. You know, I know we're kind of almost close to halfway, but the way this race has kind of gone clean. But it'll be interesting to see. We're all going to be stacked back up, and it'll be fun to watch.
Now, I am showing Cole Fitzpatrick did stay out of that number 10 machine, but remember, he did pit on lap 67. We just made it to 70, where, matter of fact, that's kind of cool for David Berry. David, I believe, cut this caution at just the right time. David will be starting in the second position with the newest tires. We'll have to keep an eye on that Hot Wheels machine.
A little player up front to come up here and try to do the dango, tingo, whatever you want to call it. So let's see what kind of happens. I mean, we're going to have some new players up front. We're going to have some new people going to be trying to make some stuff happen. Maybe get a little razzle dazzle, throw a block when you don't need to throw a block or something else. But we're going to check out the rest of our bump and run schedule here at Dover tonight. Next week we're going to go to the Indy Open. What an absolute fun track to race on.
Yeah, passes will be
else
fun
we got
to
there,
watch
Sean?
at Indy. That's short track Iowa, another 150 lap race. Then we're going to turn some right as well as left out at Watkins Glen. How about old Richmond? Daytona. Daytona, I know, is a track that you love, Justin. Then we'll go to Darlington to round out that first sort of half of the last full part of the schedule.
We're going to bump back in here. Let's see, man, such a fun, man, these guys, they've really just followed this schedule very, very well. But Indy Oval, man, such a fun place to race at.
I mean, you're exactly right, Justin. These real quick, BNR follows this schedule so well. It's exactly what the NASCAR says the schedule is. So it's pretty easy to remember there. Here we go, back to some green flag racing.
Away we go. Down through the short chute. Holy cow, at the run Fitzpatrick had, he's almost got a second lead built up as they come around through there. Coming off of 4, we're going to get it pretty much single filed there. Barry going to spot right there. Who's that? Farmer back there? Oh my gosh, we're still side by side, way on back there.
And I mean, I'm still showing the top 6 drivers are the only 6 that are on the lead lap. Lots of these front runners getting trapped a lap down. Chris Campbell, Mark Berry, Matthew Fitz as well. Josh Small, Robbie Bice, all trapped down that one lap with the untimely caution. Here we go, Matthew Fitz as well as Josh Small. These 2 drivers starting to get a little bit close on track, as well as we got Mark Berry out here leading this sort of gaggle of cars from 8th on back.
Back kind of been where the party's at. I mean, it's almost like a mud. Business up front and party in the back.
You got one of those going, don't you, Justin?
I wish. I used to. And I cut it off. But, you know, I think it's that time of the year. I think it's time to maybe get that back.
Especially with some bump and run action. I mean, come on, you got to have a little bit of business in the front, party in the back here, because these drivers continue to show us some business in the front, party in the back. Here we go, Brandon Moore. He's able to work his way back up to P5. Lucked out on that caution. Thankfully not getting caught a lap down as Brandon Moore and Brian Huntley Jr. Matter of fact, Huntley Jr. qualified third this race. He is only back to P6 at the moment. Another driver that caught the competition, or excuse me, the caution, just a little bit luckily there. Oh, holy gravel! Sorry about the dancing there, folks. We're dancing here all out and around the track, trying to get this all figured out here. Apologies, 1 second. I think we're good. Justin, you good? Am I good? I think we're all good.
Good.
Oh.
Yellow.
All righty. Well, we're back at it here for the battle in the top 6 as we have another caution on the Speedway. This probably is at a good time for us up here in the booth for dealing with a little bit of issues. Oh, this is looking like a big one. I shouldn't be laughing. We got Robbie Bice, Cornelius Brown, Terry Dugay all involved.
Dougie down, Dougie down.
Dougie down.
Let's see, Robbie. Can you teach me how to Dougie, Terry?
I get it.
Oh! Hey, listen, you. Oh, my. Oh, Cornelius Brown involved.
Goodness gracious alive, folks. Catch this one again. Slowing this puppy down. What a move there for the 14. That's Terry who gets really off the race line there. So far up the track. I think Terry's going to scrape this wall here on exit. He's got to.
Let's see here. Up. Bang.
So that's the first incident. And then the second one, with Robbie Bice also involved here, is when these two make contact.
Let's see.
Boom!
Low, high. Ooh. That spotter's just in his ear wearing that baby out. Low, high. Ooh.
Hopping on board with Robbie Bice this time.
Montgomery, Alabama native. Well, that smoke will mess you up real quick.
Robbie Bice, unfortunately, out of the race, probably with that heavy contact there. Looks like Brandon Moore, Brian Huntley Jr. are all into the pits. Austin Mice, Kyler McCarthy, Chris Campbell, as well as got Cole Fitzpatrick up here rounding out our top 3.
So now you're gonna get a car back on the lead lap. Now we just got to kind of run through everybody, get everybody back on the lead lap.
That's big. You're right, Justin, for those drivers. Remember, it was only top 6 on that last lap. Now we're going to have some wave arounds. I'm showing right now all these drivers down to 11th, down to Stan Mayberry. So that's Austin Mice, Kyler McCarthy, Cole Fitzpatrick, David Berry, Chris Campbell, Brandon Moore, Brian Huntley Jr., Mark Berry, Matthew Fitz. Should be all up on the lead lap. And Justin, remember, we just looked at the number 97. He was shown 2 laps down. Now he's starting at the front row leading this race.
How this thing cycles around. Crazy how this thing cycles around.
That's why, hey, I don't get paid the bucks here to be a crew chief. I get paid some bucks here to be up here directing, commentating, producing it. Got Justin the Yamentator here on my side, commentating up here with me in the booth. Once again, before we get some green flag racing, thanking the YouTube chat here tonight, the YouTube land. Every single one of you joined in live to the horizontal and the vertical broadcast, as well as our sponsors and affiliates up there in the top right. Every single one of you and those sponsors are who all makes this possible. Justin, take us to the green flag. Here we go.
I'm just kidding. Y'all don't want to hear that. Here we go. Buster got the green flag out. Green flag.
Oh, tires spinning, boys.
Oh. Never mind. I spoke too soon. We're not going to go back green just yet. We're going to have a caution on the Speedway. Everybody going to get it figured out. We got Richard Petty up there against the wall. Dale.
Oh, the rap machine
What
involved.
happened,
We'll take 2,000-3,000 looks at this one, Justin. No, Dale, no. Oh, God. All right, here we go. Here's the contact. Forklift, beep it up. Here we go. What happens here? Is it tire spin, Justin? Is it a checkup out front? Oh, that looked weird.
Let's see,
what in the hell?
Yeah, I don't know. It's almost like he maybe missed a gear. It just kind of died out. Back it up on me one more time. Back that thing on up right quick.
That's something.
Ooh.
If you
43
watch the
just kinda
Dale
slapped
Jr.
right on.
or excuse me, the Denny Hamlin podcast, you are right in between first and second gear here on a restart. Even pacing first gear, you're right up there in the rev limiter. Second gear, you're bogging this engine down so much. So I think it's a very split decision on if you run first or second gear on the restart. Good call there, Justin. I think that's exactly what happened. We'll have to hop on board with Dale Rapp and see what gear he was in on that restart. Evidently, probably not the right one.
Yeah, it's almost like when he lifted the clutch, that thing just spun and it went to a million RPM. Let's check it out here.
Oh! That looked... I was
It just
expecting...
spun, man, and
I was expecting him to be in first gear there, Justin, because the way that thing went out and around so fast, you catch some real high revs pretty quick. But no, being in second gear, like you said earlier on in the race, I don't know if he hit that water patch left over from the real life race or what happened there, but unfortunate there for, I think that's Matthew Fitz also involved.
yeah, Fitz just kind of in the wrong place at the wrong time, and man, that's going to stack him up. Ooh, Robbie Bice again. My goodness. Cornelius Brown, duck and cover, Cornelius. Oh, Robbie Bice hit again. The same bumper cars.
Hopping on board, I guess, last replay of it here. Cornelius Brown on this green flag start. Take a look at this. You said Cornelius Brown, did you? I thought, Actually, yeah, you were right. Here's the 68 involved as he was working his way backing up to speed here. Here we go. Oh, ARCA breaking moment here, boys and girls. Hang on to her. Hang on to her. Oh, Cornelius Brown. All right, well, that's enough replays of that one. It hurts me to watch, boys and girls.
Gonna play a song on the world's smallest violin.
Please do, as well as oh, we got Joe Stipe saying he just straight up spun him. There you go. Melanie, we got you down here live on YouTube land. T Ghost, if you're still hanging out. Terry, welcome in. Matt Langley involved. Hey man, got the race going on the 70-inch TV. Dude, holy guacatoolies.
Money, 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 money. Money.
Matt Langley, if you still got the old Stam Studio Network up there on the old 70-inch, go ahead, tag us on Instagram, and I'll get that thing reposted on the story. Matt, that is too cool, man. That's what we strive for here down on the old Stam Studio Network. This is Sean Stam, Justin Yaw, up here with you in the booth. Here we go for some more green flag racing. Hopefully we get a little bit cleaner start, but right now only the top 7 are on the lead lap. Here we go, Austin Mice, Kyler McCarthy, Brandon Moore is up out front.
I guess front stretch into 1 and 2. Mice gonna have a great restart there. Everybody can kind of get side by side back here. Way on in the field, about 6/7.
That's Cornelius Brown. He just had that front end destroyed on the last caution. Looks like that Toyota Camry. Matter of fact, the only Toyota Camry on the lead lap is still showing a little bit of pace for the 68.
Yeah, 68's got ahead. Machines working. From with it, here comes, what is that? Is it 48?
Joshua Higball right there. Miguel Campo going at it.
Yeah, they going at it, but Highball's 2 laps down. But he is racing like he is on the lead lap.
Lots of these drivers, once again, just unfortunately caught on that. Oh, what'd you see there?
Well, I would like to make a note. Look at P18. What has happened to our leader? What has happened to Cole Fitzpatrick?
holy, Cole Fitzpatrick down and out of the race at the moment. That's why we just cut to this overhead shot. Justin, I don't have a replay of anything that happened to Cole Fitzpatrick. Either his internet straight up blinked out, or he just took that thing to the garage. I'll try to see if we have an in-race report on that, but no report so far in the Cole Fitzpatrick race leading number 10 Chevrolet Camaro.
And a great run going here tonight. So if you look, folks, everybody kind of cycled out that caution, put a lot of cars a lap down, pretty much 8th on back, all a lap down. So everybody gonna be fighting to get that lucky dog position. Right now it's gonna belong to Josh Small. Small holding down the 8th position at number 12 Hot Rod. We're gonna put it down here on the bottom.
Wait for this here, folks.
The racetrack.
Turn 1, turn 2. You're going to want to hold that bottom, Justin, but these tires, can you do it, buddy?
Here they come.
Oh, that's a little bit of middle running.
Was it what was the gopher's name that used to be corner? Jigger?
Yeah, that old little gopher down there at the bottom, lived at the bottom of the track.
Yeah, that was my favorite they'd always used to use. Bring it back, Fox. Side by side, Miguel Campo is looking in the rear view. Seeing a whole lot of that number 48. Miguel running P11. Josh running P12 right now. Both of these guys 2 laps dead currently. So both of them kind of fighting. Once you kind of get it unlapped, you're still lapped. So unfortunately, you kind of racing each other at this point. And that number 68, man, he's just kind of hanging his, I think, kind of biding some time. I don't think he wants to press the issue too much, Sean, and maybe putting himself in a position where he could possibly get wrecked or something like that later on in this run.
You're hammering that nail on the head there, Justin. And I mean, something that's also that we have to keep an eye on here. Pretty much the name of the game tonight is this pit stop strategy. Sure, we do have Austin Mice there in the lead of the race. He's leading. Kyler McCarthy was fresh off of that win just 1 week ago. As we approach 55 laps to go in the race, Austin Mice is starting to lose some pace, though, to Kyler McCarthy here, Justin. The tires are starting to wear, as well as we got Brandon Moore, Brian Huntley Jr. on the newest set, as well as Kyler McCarthy, 10 laps newer than our race leader. We got David Berry down there in 5th place. Remember, David finished 2nd place at the Chicago Street Course 1 week ago at the Bump and Run Cup Series. And then Chris Campbell, Mark Berry, all of our drivers on the lead lap from that point on are pretty much on the same strategy. Real quick, before we get a little bit too much deeper into this this little run here on fuel and tires, Justin, I think you know what time it is. I think you fans know what time it is. I think it's time we crank this puppy up. go ahead and slowly crank this puppy back down before Justin and I start yelling at the top of our lungs. We have a battle for the lead starting to heat up and broil here between Austin Mice, Kyler McCarthy. Austin Mice was down 2 laps at one point in this race, now continues to lead laps. Kyler McCarthy continues to close the gap with that advantage on tires. Brandon Moore sits in P3 right here.
Sorry, turn the mic off.
Oh, sorry.
I'm back. Turn the mic off. Sorry. That's a rookie mistake. First time.
At least you caught it early on here. I made that mistake one too many times myself. It
Man, I'd
hurts.
have been sitting here talking for 20 minutes and nobody ever realized it. I'd have had a whole conversation with myself.
See, imagine that live and 20 people wondering where the hell you went after I crank it up. It's happened before here, so don't worry too much about it, Justin. Man. But back
guys,
in,
everybody lay off, okay?
that's why we have
Right,
the best
first right.
drivers. Justin, we got the best fan base here tonight with us. Thank you all once again joining here on Sam Studio Network to watch some Bump and Run Cup Series action. There's that Richard Petty, you called it earlier, machine, the number 43, Stan Mayberry. He's our second highest runner tonight here, Justin. He's up 15 spots since the start of the race.
How about you? Staying. Making the headway in that number 43 hot right here. Got it whooping on the move. Really getting after it here. STP. Number 43 looking real hot tonight.
Austin Mice back up to the race lead. His last lap by was a 24:22. Kyler McCarthy's last lap by was a 23:42, 2 seconds slower. Although these laps that these drivers are running are just about a second slower than what their fastest laps are in the race. They're continuing to heat up this battle here. Austin Mice is going to have to play some Super Bowl-esque defense, some Denny Hamlin aero blocking here, coming just to 42 laps left in this race. Justin, this is starting to heat up for the race lead.
Yeah, they're starting to pick up and business is good. So here we go. Everybody going to be kind of racking them up. It's kind of a 3-minute show up front right now. You got McCarthy, you got more. The 3 M's really going to get after it here. Austin, I think Austin's still kind of searching for not a win yet this year.
What was that, Justin? Sorry?
Oh, shoot. Has Austin got a win yet this year?
I believe the Mice machine has at least one win this year that McConey set up shot number 97. But if not, though, Justin, he's been, so I should have this written down in my notes, but he's been knocking on the victory lane door, there you could call it, bumper, whatever. You want to sing it for him? There you go. David Barry.
Yes.
What was that?
I get. Also, while we're on the subject of music, R.I.P. Oz.
You know what? I wanted to do this earlier on in the race, but you're exactly right. Let's take a lap here. A moment of silence for the legend himself, Ozzy Osbourne. May he rest in peace. This lap in silence dedicated to you.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Hey, at least he got to say goodbye there just a couple weeks ago at that farewell back to the beginning concert. Ozzy, we all love you, buddy. Biting heads off the bats that are up in the skies. Hopefully you are having a good time up there. Brian Juntley Jr. is having a good time at the front of this pack here, back almost to where he started this race. Remember, he started third. He's in fourth right now, but he's having a hard charging Hot Wheels Ford Mustang. That number 56 is knocking on that bumper of Brian Juntley Jr. Every time I hear that, Justin, it's that the quadruple hay part. That it's all. I sing my heart out because of that, and I think it's all because of you. I think you hit those notes just
You're
right.
welcome. Glad to be of assistance. Glad to be of assistance.
Battle for the race
you gotta
lead.
hit the hey.
All right, we're He's for horses, I guess.
Let's look at Joe's comment in the YouTube chat. He's got a very good point. Moore is just kind of biding his time. I mean, he's kind of dropped off. If you look at Moore, he was about a second and give or take just about a tenth or so. Moore was about 1.3 back. Now he's about 1.5 back, so give it 2 tenths. But he is very good at these saving these tires, so I wouldn't be surprised if towards the end you're going to see Brandon Moore start knocking off at that second place car, McCarthy, and then try to work his way to Mice. But he's got a long way to get there. And in the words of Smokey the Bandit, he got a long way to go and a short time to get there.
Hey, I'm right there with you, though, Joe. I think he's going to do what they say can't be done. Brandon Moore, we've continued to see this time and time again, comparing McCarthy to Brandon Moore. There you see on the last lap, there's that little glimmer of hope. Lap 1:16.032 seconds faster. But Brandon Moore, actually, they almost tied him. Lap 1:17 of the race. If you notice there on the top of the track here, though, take a look. The marbles are starting to accumulate here. The tire rubber really hasn't taken to the bottom line as much as I thought it would with 120 laps. So at this point in the race here, you just have to hit that bottom line, and it's really not presenting Brandon Moore with that much of an opportunity to gain. Although I am right there with you, Joe and Justin. We have seen it time and time again throughout this season of the Buff and Run Cup Series. Brandon Moore, he's a master at not only tire management, but also fuel management. If something does come down to a last sort of a yellow flag here, or just to where we do need to make one more stop, I'm right there with you guys. Keep an eye on Brandon Moore, but I'm also right there with you, Justin. Like you said, he's got a long way to go, a short time to get there. Will he do what they say can't be done?
Gonna have to find his frog, gonna have to find his snowman. We'll have to get after it. But if somebody's going to do it, I think Brandon Moore's going to be the guy. Cornelius Brown going to duck out of the way there, get out of the way of our front runners. McCarthy chipping away at it again. He's kind of cut about 2 tenths off of through there. Brandon Moore has shut the gap just a little bit. It's shrunk from about 1.5 to about 1.2. Going to have to maybe drive it off in there just a little bit more, find a little bit more braking point to it. Going to have to figure something else out just a little bit.
Remember, Austin Mice has 10-lap older tires as well, so every single lap that continues to tick on here tonight from the Monster Mile, well, we do see the lap times continuing to slow down, even in the clean air for Austin Mice. It's only a 0.6 of a second gap there back behind to Kyler McCarthy. Brian Huntley Jr. real quick, as well as David Berry. They were going at it there. David Berry was finally able to make that pass. Both these drivers, matter of fact, top 2 through 5 on the same pit stop strategy.
Yeah, I think that 2-stop strategy, I think unless you see it, so you thinking we got one more, Sean, or you think everybody's good to go to the end?
Hey, as long as these drivers are able to keep this clean, green, and I will stop myself right there. Cornelius Brown, that's a AMG Ford Mustang machine, 68s, although that does look like some pretty heavy damage to the nose. My true answer was I don't think we'll see some true pit stops from the leaders unless there is a caution with now 25 laps to go. But Cornelius Brown could be proving us all wrong, but that's some pretty heavy nose damage there for the 98, excuse me, not 68.
Yeah, they may have seen some better days. Hopefully they'll have to get that one fixed just a wee bit, get her figured out.
Back up to this battle for the race lead. Remember, we were talking about it earlier. It was starting to heat up now. Well, 120, Kyler McCarthy was faster than our race leader. Now lap 125, he's faster again. Is this when this set of tires starts to show a little bit of life? I mean, it already looks visual here. Kyler McCarthy is continuing to close that gap. So is Brandon Moore. Joe Stipe, Justin Yaw could be viewing drivers from the future here tonight as Brandon Moore continues to close this gap.
They are getting closer and closer and closer. They are starting to kind of chip away at it. That lead kind of like starting to get a little threatened, I'd say, as McCarthy really starting to try to make a run at it. He's lost about a tenth, but Brandon Moore is picking up. He has cut it down to 1.1, looking to go a little bit less and maybe try to get on that quarter panel. He's trying to catch the draft. Draft on these tracks, you don't see it a whole lot, but it still plays into effect. Maybe a little bit, but, you know, it still is there present. I sound like a presidential debate.
You're exactly right. Not about the debate part, but you're exactly right about the error here, Justin. This is only a mile track. It's not one of the speedways, so we do have that error to worry about at this point. You don't have that sort of slipstream to work with you and help you down the backstretch. If you do, it's just minor. But what you do have to worry about is that air, the dirty air through the corners as Brandon Moore continues to reel himself into that rear diffuser of Kyler McCarthy. This car is going to continue to build tight. It will not turn the way he wants it to, and we're starting to see it here, although Brandon Moore is continuing to close the gap. Kyler McCarthy, he runs up the track. He's actually giving cleaner air to Brandon Moore's front nose right here. 4/10 of a second separating the P2 and P3 drivers. We'll drop it back down to 3/10 now.
Way they go. They're going to just knock it out. Less than a second separates the top three. Then you got a nice little gap back to the 4 slot of David Berry. These front three going to race these next 20 laps to decide it. Kyler McCarthy slowly chipping away at it, but he's going to have Brandon Moore right on the back bumper. Moore not going to go too far away. So look at our pit stop strategies. Everybody kind of pitted around the same time. You see Campbell and Berry kind of off the strategy. But Mike's got 10 lap older tires in these front two. McCarthy and Moore pitting on lap 80, Mike's on lap 70. So it'll be interesting to see how those tires hold up for Austin as we get later into this run.
Here we go. The gap is starting to shrink here once again from P1 to P2. Austin Mice has a 6.5 second, a 0.65 second gap over Kyler McCarthy. But here we go, another 2/10 back to the one, the only Brandon Moore. Here we go. These second and third drivers are the top three in the playoff points here. We are already at race 18 in the Bump and Run Cup Series. These drivers are putting on a show here tonight from Dover Motor Speedway.
Moore going to look inside. Kyler going to have to play defense, going to have to maybe look away from the front car because he's got a rear bumper full of that number 8 hot rod of Brandon Moore.
Here we go once again out of turns 3 and 4. Brandon Moore able to show a little bit of pace, a little bit of speed. He sacrifices that corner entry. He's going to get a better run off into turns 1 and 2. This is Brandon Moore down the inside of Kyler McCarthy. If these drivers start to do battle a little bit too long, Austin Mice is going to run away with it.
Austin's like race boys run race. He is looking to get away from a corner. He's got to find it quick. He's got to find another gear because he's got to put some space. And right now he's stretched out to about a second and a little less than a second and a half. But if you're Austin, you have got to hit the gas and you've got to maybe stretch these tires a little bit longer than what they wanted to be stretched right now because eventually time's going to run out. You're going to be really wishing you'd have done it.
Brandon Moore is going to dive down the inside of turns 3 and 4 one more time. Not going to have the run off. Kyler McCarthy able to play some more defense. Not even an aero block that time. Brandon Moore, he's got places to be, although second and third are on the same tire strategy. We do have Austin Mice on a little bit of older set of tires, trying to pull a little bit of Denny Hamlin here tonight as he continues to grow this gap from the second and third place running cars.
Yeah, I think if you're Austin right here, you maybe start trying to lay it off just a little bit early. Maybe conserve the tire as best you can. Hold your lead. Let them two race it behind you, but try to conserve your tires. You don't want to wear them out in these next 10 laps, and then you got to race hard, and you don't have the tire wear to do it. So I think you got to try to conserve a little bit here. As you can see, he's really going to wash up the racetrack, kind of diamond the corner like we were talking about the way he goes. Brandon going to tag the wall there. Kyler did a great job in the past couple laps holding off the number 8 machine.
Brandon is trying every single thing in the playbook right now with just 12 laps to go, 12 miles to go from Miles, the monster up here at Dover Motor Speedway out of Delaware. Kyler McCarthy, Brandon Moore right now separated by just over 1/10 of a second. Austin Mice has continued to say, fight, fight, fight it, boys, out. Working with that 1 second gap here as he just made his way down the backstretch and heading into turns 3 and 4. I mean, look at this, though. Something that did make a little bit of a run within the real-life Cup Series race. We got some lap traffic here, Justin. This time it's Josh Small, the number 12 Ford Mustang. Austin Mice is slowly reeling him in. Does this dirty air, or does Josh Small possibly just miss the corner ever so slightly and allow Brandon Moore, Kyler McCarthy to slowly close that gap?
I think he's just going to have to try to play. You've got to maybe play this smart and try to not get stuck behind some lap traffic. Do what you can to get past this lap traffic, put in between yourself and Brandon Moore, because that number 8 hot rod is coming fast. If you're Austin, you've got to hope this 12 car maybe plays a little bit of a factor right here between the 8 car and yourself, because that 8 machine has got a head of steam.
Austin Mice is off the pace. He is now heading down into pit lane. Brandon Moore down and out around Kyler McCarthy. Brandon Moore into the race lead.
Holy cow, what a move there. Austin going to have to go to the pits. I'm wondering if the fuel strategy maybe come back to bite him there just a little bit. Let's see the move here. Brandon going to have a heck of a run right there off of 4. Played it very well. Kyler maybe had to check up just a little bit there, but we're going to get by and inherit the race lead.
What a move there. This was the battle for the race lead, and if we don't have a caution, this will be the battle for the finish. Looks like Brandon Moore was able to get past Kyler McCarthy. Kyler McCarthy washed up there out of turns 3 and 4. Now Kyler McCarthy nowhere to be seen. A 1.4 second gap. Joe Stipe, you were right. Justin Yaw, you were right. Brandon Moore up 19 positions since the original drop of the green flag. Our biggest mover here tonight. 3,900 oval iRating going to work with just 6 miles to go.
Brandon Moore going to stretch that lead out. He was going to put the hammer down. You hate it for Austin, man. Has had such a great run here tonight in that number 97 hot rod. And I think maybe just ran it out of gas. That such a great run there. I want to be bitten by the old calculator.
Hey, we do see some strategy calls. Sometimes they make you, sometimes they break you. And although Austin, he did run it long there just until it was out of fuel, he still only sits 7th position right now as we continue to work our way down closer to the end of the regular and the season in the Bump and Run Cup Series. That's still going to be pretty helpful for Austin Mice in those playoff points. Kyler McCarthy got a little matter of fact that was big tight out of turns 3 and 4. He's continuing to lose time to our race leader Brandon Moore. David Berry, Brian Huntley Jr., Chris Campbell, as well as Mark Berry are our only drivers on the lead lap right now. Here comes Matthew Fitz, that Monster Energy number 69 Chevrolet Camaro, down and out of the pits. He's got P14 solidified for the moment with just 3 laps to go.
Going to have to try to play catch up, and I don't think Brandon Moore's going to let him unless he magically runs out of gas. Also, I think Brandon Moore has run away with this. I have to play the lap traffic just a little bit. Remember, job there getting around.
Austin Mice, he only pit 10 laps before these drivers, so I'm sure, I mean, even hopping on board here with Brandon Moore, his foot is still on the gas a little bit more than I thought it would on the exit of 2. Yellow flag! This changes everything!
Well, anything we just talked about, go ahead and chuck that right out the window. Let's change it up just a little bit, and let's re-rack them and restack them.
Oh my. This is... I'm trying to figure out who the caution was for here. It's definitely not for Brandon Moore. Let us know if you have the cause for it. Oh, there it is, the number 69 there down in oh, that was Matthew Fitz, who was just down and off the pit road. I know it's not a thing in iRacing universe, but that looks like a loose wheel. Didn't get that lug nut quite completely tight for the 69 machine.
Lug nut. Hate when that happens.
You know, that was my nickname back in high school.
Loose lug nut?
Yeah, loose lug nut. We'll have to see if it was a loose lug nut. Oh, no, it wasn't. It just self-induced spin for the Fitz machine. And, no, I'm just kidding. No, that was not my nickname in high school. Anyways, we'll hop on board here with the number 69 machine. This will bring us to an overtime finish here tonight from Dover Motor Speedway. Oh, matter of fact, that wasn't all Justin. That was also Miguel Campo, who had a spin there in front. Justin, Matthew, the number 69, just had to take evasive action there, and he will spin. That was Miguel Campo bringing out the pretty much cause for the checkered flag. Caution flag.
Yeah, he got every bit of that, baby.
Here we go. We're going to have to back this puppy up. This is out of turns 3 and 4 here. That's Brian Huntley Jr. down into the inside. That's one car who you don't want to make contact with. It's one of the league owners here. Matter of fact, that was a big load of net code there. 0 contact between these two drivers, although Brian Huntley did drift up that racetrack there just a little bit. Justin, correct me if I'm wrong, but that looks like a little bit of air between these two.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of air, and it just unfortunately catches Miguel, and he's going to go towards the bottom. I mean, he got every bit of that inside wall. Miles the Monster wins again.
Ooh. Hey, if you don't know who Miles is, check out that YouTube thumbnail, and that's if your eyes aren't deceiving you, that is the Stam Studio Network Chevrolet Camaro in the hands of Miles. Miles is he's a monster. He's eaten me up one too many times. I hate this track with a passion. But you know who doesn't hate it right now? Brandon Moore. He was leading, although he does hate the timing of this caution. He's going to start on the outside lane. He's going to have Kyler McCarthy, Brandon Moore, David Berry, Mark Berry rounding out that top 5.
Some new players, some new faces going to come up here, and boy, these front two are really going to put on a show. I think Brian, Berry going to have a show for him to put on. I think it's going to be great to watch, and hopefully we're going to see them get after it here. These little shootout here, man, it's going to be fun to watch. I think the days of racing clean, or at least the afternoon of racing clean, is over with. I think right now you're in the nitty gritty, and you just do see some boys go after one another.
We're going to have to see it here between Kyler McCarthy, Brandon Moore up on the front row. They've got Brian Huntley Jr. right there behind him. Don't count out David Berry, that number 56 either. Here we go, green flag racing. Another spin of the wheels. This time it's going to be Brandon Moore hard into the wall.
Oh, my, they wadded it up. No caution? Go, boys, go! Kyler McCarthy going to get away. Here comes Brian Huntley. Brian's going to be there. But can he catch that number 24 hot rod? He's got 2 more corners to get after it. He's going to drive the wheels off that 88. Oh, there comes the leader. Oh, my, they're coming to the white flag. Berry going to inherit the lead. Oh, my.
David Berry to the race lead on the concrete oval of Dover Motor Speedway. 1 more mile to go after a self-induced spin for Kyler McCarthy. Here comes the number 56 Ford Mustang. David Berry to take the checkered flag here tonight from Dover Motor Speedway.
What a last, really, restart there. Holy cow. A whole lot of madness.
I was going to say, don't spin them again here, boys and girls. We have seen that 3 times tonight. Every single restart, a car has spun the tires. Tonight, though, it's going to belong to David Berry. He's going to conquer Miles the Monster after Brandon Moore, what should have won this race, spun the tires on the final race restart. Holy guacatules, David Berry burned this puppy down. Take care of that engine, boys. We still got to get this one down into R&D. David Berry taking the checkered flag. Brian Huntley Jr., league owner, that number 88, will take P2. Brandon Moore does work up to P3 after that initial race restarts. Real quick, before we take a look at these, take a discussion with these driver interviews, these top three, we're going to have to take a look and see what happened one more time to Brandon Moore. This is extremely reminiscent here, Justin. Some more tire spin here tonight on another race restart.
Let's take a look back over here. Brandon going to spin. I mean, both the front guys just spun the tires. The 25 would have followed right, and Brandon just tracked. Somebody must have leaked some oil out or something. I mean, he just plowed her right into the wall. No caution there. Everybody going to try to get some position. Let's go from the top side here from the Goodyear blimp. Looking back,
to see
Brandon's
if
going to kind of hang back.
Take a look at the 8 and the 88 here. And oh no, those rear tires are definitely on the racetrack. Brian Huntley Jr. nowhere near around that rear bumper. Wow, what a race start. And that's more surprising that Brandon Moore is able to get it back up to P3, the final driver interview spot.
It was all over the place. It's going to be an interesting interview here with Brandon to kind of maybe walk us through what happened.
Speaking of an interview, drivers, if you got yourself that copy, be sure that you move your way down into the broadcast waiting room here as we're taking some more look at some race replays here. Golly, Brandon Moore, he had this race all figured out until the yellow flag came out here. We'll take a look real quick at the race results as David Berry, he's going to go after finishing P2 last week. He'll take the checkered flag here tonight. Appreciate every single one of you joining in here tonight on Stam Studio Network. Stick with us though, because we still got those top three driver interviews. Here are those race results. Tyler Massey, that's practice, excuse me. Practice results. Here's the race results. David Berry, Privateer, will bring away the win here tonight. Fueled Up Motorsports, Brandon Moore. I'm showing P2, but that's that's weird because my other standings are saying something else. Matter of fact, I'm going to take these off the screen here. These are unofficial results. The official results are David Berry, Brian Huntley Jr., Brandon Moore, Chris Campbell, Austin Mice rounding at that top 5. We're going to have Kyler McCarthy, Mark Berry, Stan Mayberry, I believe Josh Small, Travis Farmer rounding out that top 10. Justin, I'm going to, let's see here. All right, we're still waiting on a few drivers to get to the driver interview booth, but what was going through your mind here, Justin? I know you're up here in the booth, so kind of calling as it goes on, but man, another spin of the wheels on the restart, this one for that second place runner.
Good run there for Brian. I know he's been looking for it the past couple weeks, and man, good run tonight for Brian. Another crazy. Let's look back at this restart. I mean, both the front guys, instantly. It hooked and turned right instantly.
And look at
that
Mark
25
Berry.
went from the inside. He went from the inside to the outside. Steve's just kind of locked her up. He had nowhere to go.
And that sucks for Steve's here because Justin Steves is P2, or at least he was P2 in the playoff standing points. Here we're going to hop on board with Mark Berry. Another driver just a little bit too much on that gas. And if you're just now joining us, this is the final restart of the race. But if you listen into Denny Hamlin's Accidents Detrimental podcast, the first gear here, even within your pacing, you are redlining it. Second gear, the way that the gear ratios are set up, there's just not really a good ratio to work with on these race restarts. Whether you run first gear and spin the tires, or second gear and you just try to be smooth on that gas, well, David Berry, he's going to come away with the race win here tonight. We got race winner here in the live Stam Studio Network podium finisher race broadcast booth. David Berry, the Hot Wheels machine, number 56 Ford Mustang. You're going to come away with the checkered flag here tonight. How's it going, buddy?
Good. How you doing this week?
Oh, man, we're doing great after another Bump and Run Cup Series race. David, real quick, what was going through your mind here as, first of all, did you know Austin Mice had to pit? Second of all, walk us through that race restart, the final race restart here tonight.
Yeah, there was a couple people that didn't pit on that last caution right before the end, and so I knew that there was going to be a few that would have to pit, but I knew I was good for 5 laps extra, and So I just kind of settled into a certain speed. Basically was just shooting for the podium at that point, and then the caution came out, and I didn't know where it was going to go from there.
Got so reminiscent of the real-life Dover Motor Speedway race there over last Sunday. After that initial last race restarts, David Berry, you had Kyler McCarthy spin out their self-induced spin out of the exit of 4. A little bit of contact to that front nose, but able to make it down to the checkered flag. What was going through your minds there? And I mean, who are we shouting out to makes this win all possible for you here tonight on a Tuesday evening?
Well, I knew that he was on older tires, so when he got loose, I knew Brian was going to basically be the plow truck, and then I just kind of snuck out on the outside, turning him a little bit, but it was, just surprising. I thought we'd be battling all the way to the checkered, but shout out to BNR, the broadcast, all the admins. They do a great job. Wish we had one in the sky tonight, but want to congratulate Mark on a top 5 as well, and hopefully we'll see you all next week.
Hey, thank you so much, David Berry. Congrats on your P2 finish last week, and congrats on your checkered flag victory here tonight from the Monster Mile Dover Motor Speedway.
Thank you.
Real quick before we get to one of the league owners here, Brian Huntley Jr., appreciate once again every single one of you down there live on YouTube land. Irish, Joe Stipe, you're still hanging out with us. Harvest, Tyler Massey is still hanging out here, as well as Zipper, that would be Travis Farmer, all hanging with us through the driver interviews. Here we go. I'm going to send this one to co-commentator, the Yamentator, Justin Yaw. He's down there live with Brian Huntley Jr. for that second place finish.
Mr. Brian, you got a copy with us?
Yes, sir.
Brian, man, a good solid night there for the 88 Hot Rod. Good P2 finish here tonight. Walk us through that final restart and your point of view.
Wow. I saw a lot happen, to be honest with you. All I heard was somebody took 2 tires, one took 4. They were chit-chatting, and then next thing I know, I think whoever that was starting on the inside line, spun the tires, came up, doored Brandon. I got hit in the tuchus and shot on by him, but it was wild. I restart. I wouldn't expect nothing less from Dover. It started off great. Everybody did good. The whole strategy was I knew I was good to the end, and me and the group, we were set. Because we're like, okay, they still have to pit at least, or unless they're saving. But one dropped off, which was Austin. And I'm like, okay, I'm sitting good. I still got about 26 laps of field to go, and it said like 20 to go. So I'm like, okay, I'm good. But yeah, the Dover concrete track, I've told these boys on the start, do not mash the throttle. Every restart did not mash the throttle. Cold tires, concrete track, no bueno.
I think the throttle works. I think we can gladly say that. No, we man, great run tonight there for the 88 machine.
Time, right?
Anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, that's about time I actually can finish a race after those long 8-9 weeks of BS. But yeah, I'd just like to give you guys a shout out. You guys do a hell of a job. All the drivers that come out here and BNR, put a show on for you guys to have fun with. My admin crew, myself, Josh, Kyle, when he's here for RC, he's got himself a new job, so he's been quite busy. Chris Campbell, Tyler, whenever he steps in when somebody ain't here. I'd like to thank my girlfriend for letting me do this every Tuesday and now becoming a new mommy. So couldn't thank her enough for letting me do this on Tuesday.
Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. And huge shout out, just a huge shout out to all the drivers. And of course, we love the broadcast every week. We're going to try to keep you guys on board for quite some time. So, we don't want you guys to go nowhere, and it's going to be a wild toll from here on out. hopefully finish more races.
Brian, we appreciate the kind words. We congratulate you on your P2 and becoming a new daddy. We hope all is well in the homestead. I'm going to send it back up to Mr. Sean Stammen. I believe he is caught up with our P3 driver.
I am caught up with Brandon Moore. Brian Huntley Jr., don't you go nowhere to hear just yet. We got you here coming out of turn 3 with a self-induced spin of Kyler McCarthy up there right in front. What was going through your mind as you saw that self-induced spin happen? Oh, he might be gone. All right. Well, Brandon Moore.
No, I'm here.
Oh,
I'm here.
all righty. Brian, real quick
Check
here.
again? I'm sorry. I thought you were getting ready to talk to Kyler.
No, Justin, he set me up. He's exactly right there.
That's
It should
my
have
bad.
been,
That's
but
my bad.
no, this is my bad. I wanted one more word here with you and Brian. What was going in through the old marbles in the mind as you saw spinning Kyler McCarthy out of turn 4 coming to the white flag lap?
I'm like, well, hell. I'm like, that was a shot for me to race side by side with David. And of course, me being the stubborn Italian that I am, I said, go figure he would do that.
Oh, no.
At the instance, it was like, yeah, go figure. What the F? Just my luck. And then I'm sitting there, I'm like, I hope I didn't break nothing. Because literally when he spun, I just kept my foot in the throttle. I'm like, I'll get him out of my way.
Very Kyle
Yeah.
Busch-esque on the voice chat every bleeping week. But no, this week you're going to bring it home P2. Brian Huntley Jr., congrats on that podium finish.
Thank you, sir, with these Walmart boxcars.
There you go. Driver the
All right, guys. You guys do a hell of a job. Good job.
Hey, thank you, Brian Huntley Jr. That's what keeps us going. And then I am now finally caught up with Brandon Moore. P3 finish here tonight. Honestly, should have had the checkered flag here, but Brandon, you're going to bring it on P3. You got yourself a copy, buddy.
See Brandon in here. I see Kyler. What's up, Kyler?
Oh, okay. We got Kyler McCarthy. You got yourself a copy?
That was
Yeah, I got
insane.
you, boys.
guys
I
talked
didn't.
about it.
I guess the results are all kinds of messed up. It shows. Oh, now it shows me P6. I guess I don't know what's going on here.
Dude, my results are all over the place here, so I thought
It
that
is,
was on
it's
mine,
alright.
but it's on everybody's
You are-
end. It sounds
It
like.
is. You are okay to interview Kyler. Go ahead, Kyler.
We got the official word there. Kyler McCarthy there after spinning out, unfortunately, from the race lead, but hey, you'll bring it home. At least for the final driver interview spot. We right now don't know officially what spot that is, but Kyler, congrats on your run here tonight. What was going through your mind? It looks like you tried to get on the throttle there just a little bit too quick out of 4.
Yeah, I did. I was trying to be real careful. I knew Brian was back there on freshies. I just needed to hold him back just for a couple laps, and I've seen it done here this week or this past week when the officials were here. Guys taking 2 and just being real careful. That restart was pretty crazy. I spun the tires a little bit, but Brandon he really spun the tire. I told him it looked like he just turned dead right on the front stretch and just lapped the wall, which unfortunately Brian had to go through that, and then when I got sideways and knew how close Brian was behind me, I knew he was just gonna plow through me. I don't blame him one bit. I would have done the same thing if the roles were reversed. But we had a good car tonight, just kind of trying to save the tires in the last run where me and Austin were battling. I didn't realize, I thought he was close. I didn't realize he was short. So had I known that a little more, I probably would have battled Brandon a little bit harder. But overall, whether it's P3 or P6, whatever it is, now my results are showing P3. So I don't know. Wherever we finish, yeah, wherever we finish, we had a good night. Starting P7, getting our way up to the top, top 3, top 5 fairly quick. Just kind of working away from there. So we'll take this and build off it and continue the momentum from last week with the win. So we got a one first last week, third this week, hopefully. And just keep rolling that momentum.
Hey, Kyler, appreciate you joining us here for that driver interview. We know you came away with that win 1 week ago there from the streets of Chicago. You'll bring it home here. We're gonna get the official results here, Standard, but appreciate you once again and have a great rest of your night here, buddy.
Thanks, and gotta give a shout out real quick to Nitro Setup Shop. If you don't have one, go get you one. These guys are working their butt off over there to make these things fast for us, and they're doing a good job. So appreciate everybody over there, Russ, Clayton, Patrick, everybody that puts into the time of these things. I appreciate y'all, and couldn't do this without them.
Hey, we appreciate you, Connor McCarthy. Real quick, as we take a look at least the start cam across the start finish line. Of course, the win belongs to David Berry. That's no question. Brian Huntley Jr. here at P2. Josh Small comes across the start finish line a lap or two here behind. Looks like it'll be the number 8, Brandon Moore. That's correct there for P3. Chris Campbell there, the number 68. Okay, it looks like these results are right here, and my results on another graphic are all over the place. So I don't know what's going on here with iRacing tonight, but David Berry, Brian Huntley Jr., Brandon Moore, the top 3 finish. Chris Campbell, Austin Mice, Kyler McCarthy, the top 6 finish. Mark Berry, Stan Mayberry, Josh Small, Travis Farmer rounding at that top 10. Justin Steves, Miguel Campo, Joshua Higball, Matthew Fitz, Daniel Higgins, Road Course Master rounding out that top 15. Cornelius Brown, Tyler Massey, Dale Rapp, Robbie Bice, Cole Fitzpatrick, Terry Dugay, Anthony Lane, Xavier Salgado, Willie B. Roberts, Joe Stipe, as well as Robert Armal rounding out our finishing order here tonight. Justin, I appreciate you once again joining us up here in the booth. Sean, Sam, Justin, y'all, the Yamentator. Justin, you got anything left for our fans here tonight on Sam Studio Network?
I don't. Appreciate you folks at home tuning in. Hope to see you next week.
Hey, not even next week, Justin. If you're down and out around here tomorrow with us, we got some more Bend Over Motor Speedway action and the Full Throttle Sim Performance League. Hopefully you're able to come out and call that with me. If not, hey, that's A-okay. It's Dover. We got some banking, but it's concrete. Justin, everybody down there in YouTube land, appreciate you all for joining in here tonight. We had it popping and live down there on Stam Studio Network. David Berry, Brian Huntley Jr., Brandon Moore, congrats on the top 3 finishers here tonight, the podium finishers. Sean, Stam, Justin, y'all, hopefully can catch you tomorrow night here from Dover once again. Then we got some Apex Motor Club, some MX5 racing, also live right after that. Thank you all once again. Have a great rest of your night. Like, comment, subscribe, and share some Stam Studio Network racing videos. Justin, y'all, Sean, and Tater, we are out of this puppy. Thank you all once again.